What's up guys, Andy here with the J-Speed Racing YouTube channel. Today we have a header install on my 330 E46. We're going to show you the steps of how to install it and maybe make it a little bit easier on you. I've heard this job can be a little bit tough sometimes, but we're going to show you exactly how to get the job done. So these headers were $100 on eBay. The quality is actually not that bad for what they are. The plan is to go take the cats out, I'm going to get a tune on the car, and then I'm going to be able to sell those catalytic converters for about as much as the headers and the tune originally cost. So overall the goal here is to gain more noise from the exhaust. It's going to sound better, more performance, probably about 10 or 15 horsepower. I'm not sure if it's to the wheels once I get the tune done, but it's going to help either way. So I'm looking forward to getting them in. Let's get to it. So starting off on the header install, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this reservoir right here. It's like a 12mm bolt. And then we're going to take the secondary air pump out. I believe there's a few bolts around there. Looks like it's a 10mm right there. And then I believe one right there, and there's a mounting bracket down here. And then we'll disconnect this hose here and it'll pop right off.
Bracket, pump, hose clamp.
That's all.
Let the fun begin. All right, doing a sound test one time before the headers, and then we're gonna do one after. Fire it up, Andy. So right now it is just the rear muffler delete, nothing else, everything else is bone stock. Not too bad, not too bad. Needs some more noise. A little bit more and I think she'll be set.
So we're about to take something out, I think it has to do with the secondary air pump. It's two 10mm bolts down there.
So our next move for the car, we're gonna go ahead and use our little red engine support. We're gonna hold the engine up and then we'll be able to go ahead and disconnect one of the motor mounts. So the theory behind it is we'll be able to take out one of the motor mounts and then we'll have room to access the header because it's such a pain with the big old catted header, the motor mount, and the engine. It's just so crammed in there. So that's our plan. We're gonna support the engine first and then take out the motor mount, and I think she'll be sitting floating and we'll have room for the header. If you've never seen these before, we bought this at Harbor Freight. Relatively inexpensive. It just sits on the fender lining here, and then you have one of these hooks. It comes with two. I think we're just gonna use one, and it hooks right in here on the little cam. That is actually to pull the engine. So we're gonna use that, support the engine.
Yeah, that's it. Can you get a hand on it?
Skid plate's gotta come out. That is a moist undercarriage.
It's broken.
O2's next thing to come out, 7/8 wrench. Andy's busting them loose right now as we speak. Are there four? Are there two there and two up top?
There's some up top.
There's some up top in the gooch, so good luck.
Just trying to find a way to floor up Tyler.
Underneath the 330, skid plate's out, exhaust is out, O2's are disconnected. And now the next step, Andy's in here taking out the motor mount. So he has the one bolt underneath already loosened, or the one nut from underneath the motor mount. And now he's taking off the four that hold the motor mount to the block. Okay, yeah, there is a ground in the front. Don't forget that. Just as a reminder, we do have the engine supported. So if you're doing this to your 330 and you take that out and it's not supported, the engine will likely kind of fall. That's sneaky little ground. Always keep the bolts organized. Yep. Good work. Yeah. Good work, Andy. Can you wiggle it out, or can you take that? You didn't take that top one out? Oh, you did. Oh, is it just ripped?
What?
Did you take the top nut out of the motor mount?
Oh,
Sucker's ripped! Oh. This is why you rolled condors.
Cock.
Oh.
Yeah, well, yeah, but here's the problem.
Very common.
Junk.
Cats are starting to appear. Look at that. Precious metals.
Look at all that money.
Next step, boys. Andy, I think you,
I don't know.
those bolts. Up in there, you got to get all your little tools and try to finesse your way up in there. There is a bunch of them, a bunch of little bolts up there. Sometimes the studs come out. What size? 11, 12, 13? We'll let you know.
All of the above.
So Andy's gonna get in there and kind of try to finagle them out. The motor mount's out now, so that's definitely a big move. We've done this once before and we didn't take the motor mount out, which was probably the biggest mistake of our lives. Now we at least have a chance. We might have to lower it and do some from up above, but at least we have more access to underneath now. 30 minutes in, only got a few studs out. We're grabbing every single 11 we can to try to figure out best ways to maneuver up. Yeah, the studs kind of come out with them. This is the room we have to work with. Tiny little space between the trans and the undercarriage, and then underneath here, which is the bigger space where the motor mount used to sit. So we're kind of having to find little crevices that we can kind of stick tools up and kind of finagle our way up there. Like I said, I've done this before and it took hours, so fingers crossed with the motor mount we can get it going a little bit quicker. We'll keep you updated. We're currently working in the engine bay, down in here trying to get some of these bolts out. There's such a pain, and there's so many. We'll count them at the end and kind of figure out how many there are. We're just trying to chip away at them one after another. I think we're going to try to get it all done at the top first, and that way we can go underneath and get everything else we couldn't get from the top, since underneath's a little harder.
Bingo! There they are. Looks sick. And so we have the headers already. These are the eBay special right here. $100. They came with all the gaskets and hardware. We'll see how the fitment is as far as that goes. There's kind of a certain configuration that you have to do it in, but they should theoretically bolt up pretty easy. It's time for the headers to go in. We got the gasket ready up top, and Tyler's gonna get it over those studs. Let's see if we can get up there. Yeah, and then we're gonna bolt it up.
A little bit of an update on the header reinstall. We had one stud up in here that was actually bent, so we went ahead and took it out. We might not get every single one back installed. We're gonna have to do some trimming on some of these O2 bungs because it's too tall and it's hitting the undercarriage. We're currently hammering a little bit of the firewall. It's kind of the price we paid for the cheap headers. So these are cheap headers. The O2s don't fit exactly how we need. We were gonna cut the header, but now I think we're just gonna go ahead and working?
Not really. It's just kind of chipping away a little bit.
To do a little bit of a trim. All we had to do is did a little tap on that firewall. Just dented it in just a little bit. Kind of the price you pay for inexpensive headers, but I mean a little. $100. $100. I mean you can't really beat it. So in reference to the old headers, something I want to tell you guys. The OEM headers actually have cats in them, catalytic converters, and there are precious metals in there, which essentially means they're worth a lot of money. So what Andy's gonna go ahead and do, it is July of 2021 right now. Markets are inflated, so Andy's gonna sell them on eBay. What are we trying to get? 600, 700?
Pays for the entire...
So it's like 600 bucks, 700 bucks. It's gonna pay for the entire new headers and the tune for his car. Did we say that at first or no? I don't remember. So I just wanna make sure you guys know, if you do pull your cats out, make sure to be able to sell them on eBay. People do take the cats and recycle the metals out of them. And it's an easy, cheap way to kind of pay for your new headers and maybe some other mods. This is not catalytic converter advice. This is just what we've done for the record. Man, I'm sweating. The stock headers were a pain to come out. And Andy, Tyler, they finished it up the other day. Any tips for the boys?
Have a lot of patience. I don't know. It's tough. It's really weird.
Andy got a little bit upset halfway through.
Yeah, I did throw a ratchet.
He was getting a bit emotional, so just take some time.
Be patient with it.
Just plan on taking your time, because we have a lift and stuff, and even then.
Plan on like 6 hours. Four, 6.
I plan on 2 days.
2 days.
This sucks.
See, I'm gonna mute that. We're gonna play music over this, and they'll never know that you said it sucks.
They need to know what's happening. This is the reality of everything.
Just think how much money you're saving by doing this yourself.
That's true. I wouldn't do it.
And the gains.
Big power gains on my M54.
Okay. Alrighty, new headers are in. They're looking fantastic. Such a fight to get them in, but it's a little bit easier because they don't have cats, right, Andy?
Yeah, that makes a big difference putting them in.
Yeah.
Probably about half the time
so
getting them in.
no cats, meaning it's a lot slimmer right here. You can actually access some of the bolts. We ended up, like I said, we hammered part of that O2 in. we went ahead and ran some zip ties to kind of keep the O2 wiring out of the way. Here are the downstream ones that we're going to go ahead and unplug from up above. Other than that, it almost wraps up everything down here. It comes with new gaskets. Don't forget to put on your gaskets against the block and the new header, and then the ones down here during reassembly. We are day 5 of header install. Seems like forever. We did motor mounts while we were at it, so that took a little bit of finessing to do.
Guys, right now we're finishing up the exhaust. So these headers are cheap, so we had to actually bend them a bit. We had to take off that mount that mounts it to the bottom of the transmission and kind of bend these OEM pipes out just a little bit so we can get enough space to bolt them up.
You kind of get what you pay for. I mean, they're cheap, $100. You kind of got to work for it. There are a couple other alternatives for headers that are a little more expensive. They'll probably bolt up better. If you're looking for that route, definitely spend the money. But for $100, I mean...
We didn't have to do as much with the O2s as we thought. You just had to bang in the trans tunnel.
Right. So there's a little bit of nit and gritty to it for being cheap, but let's test it out. We got a bit of a treat for you guys. So along with the header install, Andy has a tune that he's actually gonna upload right now. We did another video on Tyler's 325. I'll put a link right here if you wanna check that out. But aggressive, flames, burbles, crackles, the whole shebang.
Andy, are you ready? I think we're... All right, give her a crank. Oh, that's nice.
That's not bad. That's
Here is first pull. There might be a little bit of exhaust leak. Oh, he's cold. He's cold.
It sounds good. Like, it's not that loud, but it's... He's already popping. It's not even not even tuned.
Do a pull this way. That's nice.
Very similar.
That's nice. I like that.
It's good.
So,
You want to tune it?
we gotta tune it.
Upload that file and she'll be set. It sounds great.
It's great. It feels really good.
Give me a quick little rev. It sounds good.
File that we downloaded earlier.
If you want to know how we're doing this, I have another video. Like I said, Tyler's 325. We just did this from Chaos Calibrations. It's stage like 2 or 3 tune, and it's kind of insane.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Hey, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never